Hello, and welcome to the Tiger Pit. Today we are having Trapper Talk with Baxter. I am your host, Baxter, aka the Tired Tiger. We are going to do a 2 for Tuesday. This is an open tag started by Tom, our good friend over at Knife Delights. Tom, I hope you are doing well as you can be. So I had recently received this pocket-worn gray bone carbon steel trapper the other day, and I was going to do a review, and lo and behold, my dark red carbon steel trapper showed up today. So I figured we'll just kill two birds with one stone. Yes, carbon steel come in these case carbon steel boxes, but this is carbon steel, but it's a pocket worn, so it comes in this red box. Now these two are freshies. That's what I like to call them. Pretty surprised. The pocket worn was March 22nd, 2024. You can see there. So the case trapper pattern number is 54 for the full size. 6 is for bone, 2 blades, 54 is the pattern. This is the pocket worn gray bone Crandall jig trapper, carbon steel. Now there is a note here. It is made in the USA with domestic and imported materials. Now this red bone. Now they actually call it dark red bone. Peach seed jig trapper. Same pattern number, obviously. Carbon steel. Manufactured also March 13th, 2024. So very, very nice. The fit and finishes on these are really exceptional. Here's my gray bone centering. They look dead down the center. Very happy when I see that. They do make a lot of trappers. Let's get in on this pocket worn gray bone. This turned out extremely dark compared to my other pocket worn gray bones, which is just fine. And this side, boom, even darker. Look at that. It's like a smoky gray. Almost gets black over here. A lot of people that collect, I could name a few. They're not really into when the covers don't match on both sides. To me, it doesn't really bother me. It kind of gives the knife character, and it shows that it's, handmade by humans, perfection comes with a trade-off. You get something that's so perfect, it kind of just lacks some certain character. Now, you can always dye bone, and there are people in the community who do that. So, anyways, I picked these two up because I stumbled on these weird sales, and Chicago Knife Works was having a sale on their case and buck knives. Now, they didn't announce it or anything, but you check certain times of the day and heavily discounted. Now, the Rough Riders and their other blades were normal price, but every once in a while, like, their bucks were 30-something% off, and these were each $50. $50 out the door, maybe 50 and some change. They're usually in the 60s. So I really like trappers. If you hadn't noticed, I have a lot of them. I have more trappers than any other pattern, and I really like them. I just love the clip point blade. I love the size of it. I like the variety of handle materials and colors. I like the fit and finishes on these cases generally. I have a lot of Rough Rider. I have a lot of Frost trappers. I do like Barlows. I do like Saudis. I do not have as many as I do trappers. So yeah, backspring really good on this gray bone. Sorry, I got a little sidetrack. Minor, ever so minor gap. I don't know if you can see it there, but Look at that. Nice overall back spring. Like I said, really dark bone. So I'll just give you a comparison while this one is out. Here is my gray bone Sod Jr. You can see how much lighter that is. I have the Barlow. Love that white streak in there. Really cool. And the jigging is more wavy on the back here. And I'm going to do a little spoiler alert. My first rust lock. I also picked this up on the sale because these are generally really expensive knives. I never really wanted to get one. We'll do a video on that next time, but I just wanted to compare. You can see the different grays here. See how these three are lighter, and this is not bad. It's a little darker, but boom, look at that. I'll take it. It's a keeper. So spoiler, there'll be a video on my very first and only rust lock coming in the future. Very cool. I'm not a huge gray bone fan. If you know me, my collection, I prefer bright reds, oranges, yellows. I just thought these grays were kind of bland, but they are carbon steel, and they look really nice when they start to patina. I guess I could give you an example. I got some teeners here on the Saudi, not much, just starting. Looks really good with the gray. And also in the red bone. Now, I only have one other dark red bone, and it's funny they call this dark red. A lot of people complain about how light it is, and this side, the show side, is kind of light. It's almost a strawberry, almost bordering on kind of pinkish. This side, you can see it is much darker, and that doesn't bother me. I can always drop it in a vat of red dye. But that means this side will get darker and this side will get even darker. So I just will keep it. Now this one, blade centering, is almost perfect, but not quite. Clip point and spade blade are off to the show side a hair, not rubbing the liner, which is good. And the back spring on this also looks fantastic. Like if you really nitpick, you can see like maybe a hair gap in there, but it's not the usual blade play, drive a bus through it. Everything's nice and flush. You do get the nice scuff on the back spring of this one for some reason. I'm not sure why that happens. But I picked this up. Why? It was $50. It's a carbon steel trapper. It's a color I didn't have. But I had this one lonely full-size copper lock in dark red, carbon steel, and he was just the only one. He was so lonely all by himself. So, I mean, I could have picked up a small Congress, but I opted for a trapper. I don't think this is my only red case trapper. I have lots of colors, but I do not have a red. So, yeah, you can see the differences in the red. They vary. This would be considered deep red. And then this is pretty deep red. Like I said, I don't mind that it's lighter on this side. Gives the knife character. I'm not so picky. I like to use these knives. I'm sure if I scrubbed maybe this side with some soapy water, it may lighten up to this side, and then I could dye it. But I'm not so picky where I want to dye the bone. And I know some of you are, and that's cool, you know, to each their own. What else to say about these? Well, I just kind of wanted to compare what I had it up against. I wanted to collect a few more full-size trappers. I have 10 mini case trappers and realized I only had 7 full-size case trappers, so I had to get a few more. So this is 8, this is 9, and number 10 is on its way. It's a very special trapper that is going to blow your mind, and mine too. But it'll be a good way to top off my trapper collection so far. Will I stop at 10? I'm kind of holding off on getting more 10 is plenty of trappers. 10 full size, 10 minis, that's 20 trappers right there, just in case, not including my Rough Riders, my Frost. I recently picked up a Kershaw mini trapper, and Rosecraft is coming out with trappers, so I'll be getting more. But as far as collecting case trappers, I'm going to kind of pull back the reins a bit because I'm really liking these full-size Copper Lucks, and I only have 2. So I'm trying to get a few more, and I'm also trying to get a couple more of the vault patterns. I'm trying to collect at least 2 of each year. I think I just need 1 more small Congress. It's just a matter of deciding. I may get Redbone, I may get Greybone. I'm not sure. So, thank you very much for joining me for another Trapper Talk with Baxter. I hope you have enjoyed it. You have seen that obviously these are carbon blades. They are freshies, no teeners, but a couple more blades I can peel some apples with, get some teeners on it, cut some steak with. I think my only other case carbon steel trappers are my yellow Delrin and my mahogany bone, which are both really nice trappers. Case really does a fantastic job building these, and there's just something magical about them to me. I mean, like I said, when I first started collecting, I'm watching RJ Knives, and he's a huge trapper fan, and I have a connection with him. I like him. I collected a lot of ropers. Now look at actually how pointy this blade is. Maybe they're listening, because most of my older trappers, my Harvest Orange and my yellow Delrin, they're kind of, rounded off from polishing. So I don't know if they're sharpening the tips after they polish these or what, but check out this Redbone tip. A little wonky, but guess what? It's actually pointy. Yeah, the grind got a little wonky at the end. That's fixable, but look at that. It's actually a point. Now, I'm not going to bust out an example of a rounded blade tip by Case, but maybe they're listening. Maybe they are. Who knows? Okay, I'm wrapping this one up. Again, thank you for joining me. Be kind. Stay sharp. Take chances. Take care, y'all.